الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون ومن يتول الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا فإن حزب الله هم الغالبون يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم والكفار أولياء واتقوا الله إن كنتم مؤمنين وإذا ناديتم إلى الصلاة اتخذوها هزوا ولعبا ذلك بأنهم قوم لا يعقلون صدق الله. Last week we had said that over here in the Quran Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a few aspects which are necessary for the ijtima'iyyah of the ummah and the unity of the ummah. So over here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, last week we spoke about not taking kuffar as awliya. We explained what that means. Awliya means in such a close relationship that now other people's habits, other people's thoughts, other people's culture, understanding, etc., that starts coming into Muslimun, which we see in front of us. So now the other side, yani who do you take as wali? إِنَّمَا وَلِيُّكُمُ اللَّهِ. Firstly, you should know that who is your true friend, who is your true wali? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَرَسُولُهُ, and His Rasul. Allah and His Rasul want the best for us in the dunya and in the akhirah. This is also reality. As we said that there are two groups in this world. The Quran Kareem says there's only two. Hizbullah and Hizbul Shaitan. Hizbullah, the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The group of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibadur Rahman. The other is Hizbul Shaitan. Yani whoever is not with Hizbullah, then automatically that becomes Hizbul Shaitan. Because Shaitanah just means what? That a person has adawa, a person has animosity for the good of insan. Now the good of human being is in two places, in two realms. One in the dunya and the other in the akhirah. Now the more important realm is the akhirah. So what happens sometimes, and we don't realize this, that Shaitan, he will sacrifice the good of this world, but he won't let the good of the akhirah come. Yani if he has to choose between two things, that this human being, should I entice him with the good of the world, should I let him take the good of the world or good of the akhirah? And if it's up to him, he'll make us deprived of both, neither akhirah nor the dunya. But he's a smart enemy, right? And if we don't understand, at least we should understand through the enemy what he wants. If the enemy wants you to do something that in itself should tell you that means you should not be doing that. So him being a smart enemy, he says that if I have to choose between the two, for him the lesser of two goods, right? We think about lesser of two evils, right? For him the lesser of two goods. The lesser of the two goods for him is the dunya. So no problem. Give him dunya, whatever he wants, as long as he stays away from akhirah. But otherwise, a'da of Muslimin and enemies of Islam and enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anyone who calls against anything of shara, that becomes contrary to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that becomes contrary to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Rasul both want our khair and goodness in the dunya and in the hereafter. But preference is given to the akhirah. So yes, if it means that some struggle, some mujahada, some sacrifice is required in the dunya, no problem. Because a good friend does that for us, right? And if a person needs to have surgery, so what will a good friend tell him? He won't tell him that, it'll hurt a little bit. You'll get poked and this or that will happen to you. What will a good friend say that's there? It will be a little difficult, but the greater good. What's better for you is that you go through the surgery if you need it. So a good friend, that's what he does. He keeps your khair and what's best for a person in front. So إِنَّمَا وَلِيُّكُمُ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ. Allah and His Rasul only want good for us. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And the believer should be awliya. Yani this is telling us that how we should think for one another. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And what's the quality of amanu over here? الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةِ. They establish salah. وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةِ. They discharge their zakah. وَهُمْ رَاكِعُونَ. Whilst they are humble in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what they do, the a'mal and the good deeds that they do, this isn't out of pride or it's not out of show or arrogance. It's being humble in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are two things which that's not new to us. We know that believers should be doing iqamatul salah and we should be giving our zakah and whatever. The idea is whatever physical acts which are obligatory upon a person and whichever monetary acts which are obligatory upon a person, the believers do that. So helping one another in that. Iqamatul salah, iqamatul salah means at the highest level. Iqamatul salah, not just yusalluna salah. If you see time and again the Quran Kareem, if not always, often says there is iqamatul salah. So iqamatul salah has levels. One level is a person hurries and just rushes through his salah. The other is a person takes his time out. He comes early. He already has wudu made. So the hadith says for each step he takes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives him reward. Then he comes, then he prays tahiyatul masjid. After that he's in the first saf, or he gets takbira tahrima. Then he prays his salah in jama'ah, in the masjid. So that is the highest level of iqamah. Then throughout the salah he has khushu', he has qudur, etc. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all of that. We are all in need of it, myself firstly. So iqamatul salah, this is also being a wali. See? We shouldn't think of it numerically and capitalistic thinking. That what's a wali? The way every time I say salam to his brother, he gives me a $5, $10 bill, $100 bill every time. That's not what it is. Awliya amongst believers is that we help each other in a'mal, in good deeds. That if I come to the masjid, then there are other people that also encourages me. Then we exchange salam, and this also becomes a means of reward. Then if there's any need, we also have connection. Then we also take care of one another. This is all part of every day us meeting, praying in the masjid together. This is showing the wilayah of believers. That is why the adab and the sunnah when we're praying is what? That we stand shoulder to shoulder. Shoulder to shoulder. Doesn't matter what your occupation is, doesn't matter who you are, what lineage you're from, what car you drive, what house you are. Everyone is together. What? This shows wilayah. It doesn't matter who we are, where we come from, what color, blue collar, white collar, whatever collar, no collar. وَإِنَّمَا وَلِيُّكُمُ اللَّهُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. So in iqamatul salah this comes. وَيُؤْتُونَ zakah is even more obvious, that we take care of one another. We don't say, no, it's mine. I earned it. No, ita'u zakah. Ita'u zakah it's a huge sifa. And it's only iman which will make a person discharge money for someone else. It's only iman. Because we're saying that you're giving over here and then you'll get in the akhirah. So only if you have belief in the akhirah, then you'll do something like that. And then who will not do it? The one who doubts in that. So this becomes a very, very important sign of a person's iman. It becomes a very important sign of iman. إقامة الصلاة والزكاة وهم راكعون ومن يتولى الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا. Whoever takes Allah and His Rasul and the believers as his wali, فإن حزب الله هم الغالبون. Then you should know that at the end victory is for Allah and His Rasul. حزب الله. See, we spoke about حزب الله. Right? Hizb Shaitan also comes in the 28th juz. So Hizbullah, those the people that are the allies or the group of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be triumphant. And if you don't see their triumph in this dunya, then definitely you see it in the akhirah. And that's that's the main objective. O believers, do not take those who take your deen as mockery and play. من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم. And who used to do this? Some of the Yahud and Nasara and Kuffar over here, referring to the Mushrikun. Do not take them as awliya. And if someone, for example, makes fun of you, do you keep on going to him? And they always mocking you, do you go to him? Do you consider him to be your friend? Someone who's always mocking your family members, will you always go to him? So the same, what we call ghayrah imani. This ghayrah imani should be there as well. A person has this, that how can I adopt someone as a wali who is continuously mocking my deen? They make fun of what we do. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. What is one example of their mockery? وَإِذَا نَادَيْتُم إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ اتَّخَذُوهَا هُزُوًا وَلَعِبًا. When you call each other towards that, see, نَادَيْتُم إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ. نَادَيْتُم, for those who know Arabic, comes from, in Sarf it's called from Bab Mufa'ala. In Bab Mufa'ala, there is the action is done from both sides. For example, you say the word musafaha. So musafaha means what? Shaking hands. So you can't shake the hands with the thin air, right? You need to have from two sides. So nadaytum ila salah. This also is an example of wilaya. Wali comes from wilaya. The root being wilaya. Wilaya actually means a level of authority. Over here, the Quran Kareem is establishing that there is also a level of authority each believer has upon the other. What is this authority? That of nusх and advice. That someone say, this often you may hear, but mind your own business, don't tell me this. If you tell someone to do something good, don't tell me, it's mind your own business. Yani, it is his business. Because the Quran Kareem says there is a love of wilayah. The Muslim community only will work like this, that if we understand that each other, we have rights over each other. In what sense? Yani calling toward each other towards good, preventing each other from wrong. So, when you call one another towards salah. Yani this ayah is not referring to adhan only, because adhan is only done from one person. Nadaytum ila salah means when you call each other. Some people, mashallah, they set this up, they have a phone tree, I don't know what they call it. And one person calls the other and then they call for Fajr, they have this. So this is good. نَادَيْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ اتَّخَذُوهَا هُزُوًا وَلَعِبًا. They said, they would start mocking at it again. You see this adhan, again they're disturbing us, etc. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. The Quran Kareem has different styles. Sometimes the Quran Kareem proves the a'da wrong, and other times the Quran Kareem just doesn't deal with it. Here the Quran Kareem, the style is what we call hakiman. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ. They don't have any aql. Don't worry about them. There's no need to worry about what these people are saying. They have no intellect, they have no understanding of deen and what they're missing out and what's the importance of salah. Why is the Quran Kareem using this style? Because salah was in every sharia. It's not something new that we brought. Yahud prayed also, and the Nasara prayed also, and the Anbiya before them prayed. Every Nabi had some form of salah. So this isn't something new. So why are you mocking at this? That's what it says. Your mockery of salah is mockery of your own deen. Make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us understanding of the Quran Kareem. Allah ta'ala gives us istiqamah upon whatever we do.